Good morning, everybody. Let's see. We'll give it about another minute or so, see if anybody comes in live. Today we're going to be covering dotloop for all you Keller Williams people. Hopefully you use all that for your contracts. It'll make life easier for you. Just got word yesterday that KW is coming out with some new stuff as far as new IDXs, and it's all their whole technology part is going to all come together and integrate with dotloop and your KW website, and they're getting rid of edge, so that's a good thing. Anyway, so they're about a year to year and a half out, it sounds like, on that, because definitely they need it. All right, well, let's get this thing rolling here. Let me share my screen. Okay. So here you're on your mykw.kw.com. This is your edge control panel. Okay. On this, you're going to go to, on the edge control panel, you're going to go to My Transactions and click Start Transactions. From there, now you're going to come into your loops. Okay. So I manage the team, so you guys all know that. So I have everybody's files in here. You're not going to have as many of these, but let's just kind of go through this. I like mine in a list style display, but this little icon right here will switch it to a grid view, and now you just got a bunch of circles. Whichever you prefer. I think it's cleaner the other way, but whatever you prefer. So, all right, next thing is you can search for any loop by the address. Excuse me, sorry about that. By the address or by the street name. So like I have a listing on Nora, I believe it's 1570. I don't even remember now. Let's just look for it for Nora because I don't remember the address. Running a little bit slow, 5816. Okay, so you can search for it that way. Okay, so you can search for any of your listings if you can't find them. One other thing, let's see, a few other things that I want to show you about as far as on this front page here. Now, don't be concerned about this purchase or under contract or these states right here. Those are just for us to keep them in order. It has nothing to do with MLS or anything like that. Okay, it's just to keep you organized, because I'm going to show you how to filter some stuff so you can find files when you go to archive them. So, but you do have to, if it's a purchase, listing for sale, lease, you have to name it one of these. Okay, in order to put it under contract, sold, or archived. So whenever you have a file that is switches to under contract, I mean, you can do this, but we ask, please don't mark it sold until we know your file's closed and you get your check. Okay, because we go in and we actually do this. If you archive a file, it doesn't delete it, but it deletes it out, and like we have to do our month-end books, so we don't usually archive files in this until that's done. So let us do that. Notice it says open active. Okay, the big one you'll see here is hold check. When it says hold check, it's because your file's missing something, so they're not going to release your check. Contact Vicky, find out why it's being held. Usually she sends you, I know she did me on my listing, she sends me weekly updates. Okay, so lets me know what I'm missing. That way when the check closes, that my check's ready for me to pick up and be deposited. Okay, now Let's say you archived a file and you want to find out how to go in and find it. See this little filter tab right here? You click this filter tab and you would come here and you'd select archive. Then you could come here and type your name, okay? You can also do the same thing with sold and leased. But notice, if I check one of these, the other ones disappear, okay? If I do uncheck sold, now they come back. I check lease, they go away. So that's how you can, and I leave the rest except done all checked. No status, all of them except the sold, leased, archived, and done. That way I can search for everything that's going on in the file. Now you guys aren't going to have, I think we have like 70 or 80 files going like that. You guys will only have a few, okay? But then all you do is once you do that, you hit search, you hit filter, it'll bring up all your archive or all your sold. That way you can look because nothing's ever deleted. Okay, now let's get into the meats and potatoes of dotloop. What you first do when you get into dotloop is, first of all, when you log in, you want to make sure your screen is black and red like this. If it's blue and white, then you need to come all the way to the bottom and call the dotloop number that's down here at the bottom. I promise, see, that's how many files we have going. But I promise you, there it is right here, the help center. You need to call them and tell them your market center number. In Mesa, we're 161. I'm not sure about St. George, and I'm not sure about San Diego. Okay, but give them your market center number and your broker's name, and they'll get you over to the KW plan, which is you don't have to pay for, and you're able to use dotloop. Okay, so now let's say I want to do a brand new listing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to where it says create loop. I'm going to name my loop. We like to name it with the address. That keeps us, we ask that you name it with the address first. Okay. So 12344 West. Somebody had Mickey Mouse Way. That's funny. West Main Street. Let's just go West Test Street, Mesa, AZ. Okay. If you have a name, you can put it after. Okay. Now, to save you guys some time and work, they've created some templates. Don't know about the other market centers, but here in Arizona they have. Okay. So we have a resale listing template. We don't want to use the shell because that's for the broker, how a broker assigns a checklist for you at the bottom, but we want to use the templates. Resale listing template. We have the resale contract template. Okay, we have the short sale template. So these are all your templates, and I'm not going to say they have all the forms, but they have a majority of the forms. Okay, so we said we're going to do a listing, so we're going to select the resale listing template. Okay, we're going to create the loop. And then it will bring us to where here are all of our forms. Okay? Now, one thing I want to show you is notice it says listing folder here. Okay? When you have a listing, use two sides of the transaction. You have a listing folder, and then you have your sale folder or your buyer folder. You can rename these by coming here to these dots on the right, clicking rename, and you can just come here and go buyer folder. Okay? Hit enter and you can change the name. So let's just say that you get a contract under it and it cancels. You can archive this folder just by going archive, and then you can come up here and hit add new folder, because we all have listings that go under contract and then they cancel for reasons. You don't need to do a whole complete new loop. You just need to archive this folder, create a new folder, and just call it buyer 2, or you can even name it the name Jones buyer folder, but just don't name it sale folder or buy folder, because you'll see why when we go to submit our documents. Okay, so whenever you get this under contract, All of your buy-side documents are going to go in this. All of your listing documents are going to go in this. Okay? Now, notice they all say optional. Okay? That means that we haven't opened them. Okay? So now if I open the agency, disclosure, and election, there's different ways you can go in here and do this. This is how I do it. So there's no right way to do it, but here I can go in and I can add a person. Because you can go in and add everybody at the beginning, but to me, I like to do it as I go. So you just click add person. Buyer is Bob Jones. His email is Bob Jones at nomail.com. His role, he's the seller. Okay. You can add this information in if you'd like. Personally, I don't ever. Okay. All I do is put in the bare minimum and I hit add person. Okay. Let's say he's married, but he would just go hit add person, add his wife. Now, one thing about dotloop that's different than DocuSign is you can't use the same email address for both. Okay. You have to have two different email addresses in order to make this work. So if the wife, Julia Jones, has to have a different email, okay? Okay, so we're just gonna leave it Bob Jones for now, okay? Now all you do is come in here. This auto-loaded this for us, Keller Williams Realty East Valley, but if you in St. George, you know, Keller Williams Realty St. George, so Del Mar. And then you put your name in. You just type in there and you type in the box, Mark Uloa. And then you come in here. Now, some allow you to check the boxes. Some you have to come here and oh, you know what? That must have been one of the new updates they did. So they're actually recognizing the boxes and allowing you to check them. Sometimes you have to go in and place a checkbox. So in this one, I'm representing the seller. So box number 41, box number 42, because I'm going to, if I have a buyer, they're going to let me show it, hopefully. And I'm representing the seller. Okay? Now, notice how this says no one. I need to assign the signature to them. Okay? So I'm going to select the box. Excuse me. I'm going to select the box and I'm going to select Bob Jones. This form's done. So now when we email this out, it's going to prompt Bob to sign right there. Now, I ran into this the other day. I highly suggest just hitting save because I did a whole purchase contract and for some reason I hit the back and usually it prompts you to save it and I don't remember if it did, but it was all gone. So I've gotten in the habit of hitting save, then I hit the back. I don't share that for signature yet because I want to send them all in one lump email. So notice how we were in that one, and that one says not submitted. Same thing with HOA. We go in there, we click it, we fill it out. I don't think we need to go through and show you how to fill out these forms. So that's pretty self-explanatory. But one thing I do want to on the purchase contract. Oh, you know what? This is a listing folder, so never mind. We're doing a listing. I'll show you on the purchase side of it. Go in and you fill all of it out. Okay. Now, notice it says not shared. Okay. So what happens is once we get our documents all completely filled out, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to show you something else. So now it says select roles buyer. I'm just going to come here and go Bob Jones. And I'm going to come in here and go autofill. Okay. You have a few options up here. Okay. Here you have your add initials, add a signature. So let's say that they need to, there's no initials here, but we're just going to pretend. We need to add initials. We're going to select add initials. and then come to the document, and let's say they need to initial right here. I'm going to click right here. All right, it's not letting me do it. Oh, you know why? Wow, they've recently come in and changed some stuff in here, so that's good. Let me get to a form where they have to initial. This one they have to initial the bottom. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go autofill. Well, they've really gone in and set this template. Okay, so these are already set. Add initials BJ for wow, I should use a different name, Bob Jones. Anyway, wow, I can't believe I said that. Anyway, bad joke. Wow. All right, so it's not going to let me do it, but let's say you get a signed contract and you need to, you upload the document and you need to add initials. All you do, I promise you, is you select add initials and you click, and it will initial the bottom for you, okay? One thing that's really cool is you can add strike-throughs too. So let's say that you want to strike out. So you want to strike out something in a contract. I just click strike out, and I can move the strikeout on what I want to strike out, and then it'll be in place. Okay. It's a good idea whenever you strike anything out that you should have them initial it. Just saying. Okay. What else we have in here? Okay, so when you get a document and you get, like, let's say you get a purchase contract and they're all lumped together. Vicky will usually do this, but if it's something that you are that type of person and you want to get that file done, you can split the document here. Okay, you just click split the document and follow the instructions. You name the document, you number the document. It's a really helpful tool. Instead of submitting a whole batch of paperwork, you can select and separate each file. You know how you get those documents that are scanned in upside down or sideways? You can rotate the document, okay? So different things you can do in here, okay? So now we have our listing packet all ready to go. As soon as this goes back to the main screen. All right. So remember how I was talking about listing for sale, select loop status? So this one would be an active listing or under contract. So I just saw that as we came. But now I want to send this out to be signed. I click the documents that I want signed. Okay? Do them all at once. Don't do them separate, because then they'll get a bunch of separate emails and they'll get confused. Okay? So just select all the ones you want to go at once. All you do then is hit share. Now it brings this up and it says Bob Jones can sign. Okay, I really only use the can sign. I don't like to use the can fill and sign. Like, let's say they need to add something, it's too confusing for them. We want to keep this as simple as possible. So I just use the can sign. Okay, I type them a message, and this is for your protection. Okay. Mr. Jones, can you please review and sign? If you have any questions about any of these docs, please give me a call. You can put your custom message in there, but this is just another layer of protection for you, saying, I need you to please review and sign. If you have any questions about any of these docs, please give me a call. Just covers your butt a little bit more, okay? So You can attach this as a PDF, and I always like to attach it as a PDF. That way in the email, they can just click download, and they can download that document to their computer after they sign. It just saves an extra step later down the road. If they say, hey, can I get a copy of it? Sure, you have a copy. It's in your email. Okay? I attach it as a PDF, and all you do is click share. Okay? So now it says that it's been shared, waiting on others. Notice now, it says waiting on others in your status. Okay? So when it's signed, it'll say, you'll get an email saying that they've signed, but it'll also say that it's signed here as well. Okay? Now, let's say you can't wait for that document to be submitted to the broker, like it's closed and you need this now to be reviewed by the broker. Okay? We can submit this to the broker straight from here. Once again, you select the document you want to go to the broker. Like, especially the big one is the final walkthrough. Okay? You guys will go in and you'll do the final walkthrough, and then you upload this the day your check's there. It's happened where I've been out of town or Vicky's not there, and we can't submit this for you on your behalf. So it's something that you can go in and do. We like Vicky to submit it, but if she can't do it and you're waiting on your check, this is all you have to do. Select the box, hit submit to review. It will make you add the street address. Hit next. Now, remember how I told you you name your folders accordingly? This is why. If you just leave listing folder, and let's say it went under contract 2 or 3 times and you just named it buyer folder, you're not going to know which buyer folder that you're submitting. So that's why you name it buyer 1, buyer Jones, buyer something, if that makes sense to you. All you do is you select the folder. You can type a message directly from Shane. He says he never reads them, our broker, so I never do because I used to, okay? Then all you do is hit submit. That goes off for them to review, and then they'll process it and then get your status cleared on that, okay? So that's basically how you complete these documents. But the one thing I do want to show you is, let's say there's a form in here. You know, this is a listing and we need the wastewater addendum, okay? So we're going to click add document. We can add it from the templates. And we come in here and you'll find where it is, okay? Most of them are in Arizona Interactive Documents. And of course the one I want isn't in there. So if it's not in there, then I usually go to armless, and a lot of times I just miss it. So you get the idea. Find the form you want. For some reason, I'm not seeing it. Let's see. We'll just use the walkthrough, okay? Here's your walkthrough. You select the form, hit copy, hit OK. Now you notice our walkthrough has been added to this file, okay? Now, let's say you get a contract under this house, okay? And we need to get this stuff in the buyer folder. We just come here and go add document from your computer. Now, I just completely cleared my whole computer. But let's see. Let's say I want to add, let's just say this termite inspection or this termite report is a purchase contract, or I just want to upload it into the file. All I do is select it, and then it brings it in. Termite report, and here we go. So now with this termite report, just so you can know, here is where it'll allow you to add your initials. Click add initials, Now all we have to do is click assign, go Bob Jones. We can add signatures, we can add check boxes, we can add names, dates, times, okay? We can also add text, okay? See where it says add text? We just click that and it creates a box for you. Now, you do have to size the box according to the line. When there's multiple lines, you have to do multiple boxes, okay? So like on the purchase contract in section 8 where it has all those lines, to type on each one, you have to create a box for each line. And then you can come in here and you can type your text. Come in, add another text box, stretch it out, size it accordingly, and then you can type, okay? Check box the same way. Let's say I need to add a check right here. You have to check in the box to add a checkbox. Okay, and then you move it to where you want it. Okay. Strike throughs the same way. Save, print, download, rotate, split document. You got all that. So then we would just hit save because we did everything we wanted to do. Now if you come in here to our folder, now we have our termite report. So this is where you would upload like the whole buyer package from that the cross agent has sent you. You can upload it in here, and then you can go in and split the documents and name them accordingly, or you can let Vicky do that. Now, another option for you guys too is if you don't want to upload these or you can't, just email them to Vicky, vicky.luxreaz@gmail.com, and she can take care of all of this for you. Okay, so the next thing that I want to tell you is that whenever you get a listing agreement executed or a purchase contract executed, okay, we need you to add me to this file. Now, I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm already in here, but you'd put my name, markuloa72@gmail.com, select my role, make my role the transaction coordinator, okay? But in order for me to see all of the documents in that loop, I need you to check that box that says add me to my team. If you don't check that box, I don't see what you're doing, okay? Or if you like me to review a contract before you send it over, add me to it, add me to your team, and then I'll see it, and then just shoot me a text. Hey, I shared a contract with you. Can you please review it and let me know if I need any changes, okay? As far as Utah and California, though, I don't know their contract law. Talk to your team leaders about that. So you probably want to add Daniel Zufelt, and then Yalda for you guys for her to review your contracts. So it's a quick little overview for dotloop. Hopefully you guys get a little bit out of this. If you have any questions, remember we are always here. And other than that, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you. Thanks. Bye.